Yeah, what's up guys, it's Nader here and I'm back with another fighting game news for a month, and we are talking about April. Now I'm not going to go over a few things in April because I already stated them before, which was the Asuka trailer and the Leroy trailer, and I think a few other trailers for other games like Grand Blue and stuff like that. So I will not be covering that, but you can watch the March video for that, which if I did cover a little bit of it, but anything like past April 3rd I'm going to cover in this video. So yeah, which is not too much for April, honestly. Either way, there will be timestamps if you want to skip to a certain section for a certain topic. And yeah, let's start the video. Alright, we're going to be talking about Tekken first, because it's probably going to be the shortest part, because it's not too much to cover. We only got one trailer this month, so yeah. Alright, so we got the Lily trailer that came out for Tekken 8. And in my honest opinion, it was okay. You know, I'm not a Lily player. I don't like fighting her, honestly. It's really annoying. But I think she, out of all the female characters, as of right now, she probably has like the best rage art out of all of them. I don't really know her moves too much because she kind of just does the same thing in my opinion, you know, jumps around, does a kick, lands on your neck, meat, you know, just stuff like that. That's pretty much what I noticed. I think her outfit's alright. It's kind of like what I would expect. Her moves look kind of cool, but nothing like too crazy. And like if you're like a Lily player, you'd probably be doped out about it. But I'm not a Lily player, so I can't really say too much about it. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Lily. Now there is still other news besides, you know, trailers and stuff for Tekken. There's actually a few things. There's one thing I want to correct that I made in March, which was I said that a move was gone, which I was wrong about, which was the running tackle. What I meant to say was like the running, like, what's it called, the ultimate tackle, where you grab them, like you run at them, then you grab them and start beating their face in. I think that is gone, because I watched the name of the video and he was talking about it. That was gone, but the running tackle, like, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of hard to block because I get hit by it a lot. That tackle where you run at them and just actually tackle them, that's still there, but the running tackle where you grab them and start beating them on the ground, that's gone. Unless you have the move like Kazuya and I think Paul. So that's a correction there. Also, there is the news, but this is probably the bigger news, is that we are getting crossplay, which Harada tweeted about casually, kind of. He's like, yeah, we're getting crossplay for Tekken 8. He's like, what the heck? I think someone asked him about that or something, if I believe correctly, and another person asked him if rollback's gonna be in the game. He said as well that it is gonna be in the game, so we got confirmed rollback and crossplay. So if you're playing with your friends, they're on the Xbox and your PlayStation, and the other friends on the PC, you can all play together. So there you go. It's just that one of them's gonna have mods. And also another thing, which was confirmed by Harada, which is not too surprising. It's not really that big of a surprise that there's going to be a ton of characters more than Capcom. So we refer to Capcom Son. He means, like, I'm pretty sure he's talking about Street Fighter 6, which is not too surprising because Tekken games normally consist of like 30 to 40 characters in release. So that's what I expected, honestly. So that's another thing confirmed. If anybody was like second guessing it, there you go. And another important thing for you LoL players out there, which is a little iffy, is that if you like really mess with LoL, like you're really good with, this is gonna affect you, is that DSS, which is his Dragon Sign stance, they made it easier to access, so everybody can just start doing it. I believe you just do forward now. You don't do back forward. So any years of hard work that you just is kind of gone. Well, this it's still Tekken 8, but it's like the alpha, so they could change it back. But a lot of people don't like the change. The main men talked about it, and I believe Rip talked about it too, about that change. Like they've changed a lot of stuff for LoL, and it's on the negative side because it made it easier, which is not a really cool thing. It took out the technical part of the character that made him fun for expert players. Essentially just gave it to everybody, which is a bad idea, because people will compare that to Kazuya, you know, you being able to do electric now if you're in the drive or rage form, whatever it's called. But I think that's fair because you get to do cool stuff only in this mode, and this mode is very important, at least the big damage and other stuff. So once you run out of it, you're gonna have to figure out actually how to do a proper electric. So yeah, I think a proper way they should have did LoL's DSS thing was probably did the exact same thing with Kazuya, like make it easier in your rage mode or your drive mode or whatever it's called, and then, you know, once you revert back to normal, you'd have to do the actual input, because I think that's actually fair for newer players, so they can say, yeah, I can do this cool stuff now. And then once everyone's like, oh well, I'm kind of washed because I don't know how to do it properly. So it makes them actually try to learn it instead of doing an easier variation of it. But they kind of just said plain flat, he just does that base or in that. So it kind of just takes the skill and flavor out of Law as a character. Because I didn't know he was that interesting actually until when the main man made the video. So if you want to watch or learn more about it, because there's other changes too, but that's like the really, really big change for Law as a character, is that he's way easier now. So I hope they don't do that with other characters like Steve or Brian. That would really suck, honestly. Alright, that's pretty much all the news for Tekken. Next up, we're going to do the big news, which is Street Fighter 6. This is going to be a long part of the video because they had a showcase which was 30 minutes long, and I watched the entirety of it, and I'm like, they gave us some information. So I think we should start off with the character creation first, because that's what they started off with in the showcase. And we're just going to go in order until we get to online stuff, and we'll talk about more like that. But I'll make sure this is a quick section because it's a lot of news. It's a lot of news. Okay, so with the character creation, pretty much they talk about, you know, Luke's your trainer, this and this, Bosch is your rifle, to just sum that part up because they already went over that like 8 times. So that's that pretty much. And then they go in the open world, and this is where things get a bit more interesting. So pretty much you can fight anybody you walk up to. You can just fight them if you want to. So pretty much everybody has hands in the world of Street Fighter, so you can just run up to everybody, fight them if you want to. Now there is certain conditions where you can meet that will help you get more rewards if you fight them a proper way. Like if you do certain attacks, knock them down a certain way, or this, that, and the other, you will get a better reward from fighting them, because there is fight money, like in-game money, to buy more equipment, which can affect how your stats are. So equipment does affect stats in this game, and how you look and stuff like that. And some of the rewards you do get if you do certain things are kind of like, if anybody played Street Fighter 5, when you did survival mode, how there's items that you can use to give you more attack up, stuff like that. It's pretty much in there, you know, health up, this, that, and the other, and with the money as well. Just wanted to mention that too. Now there is also something to be noted, that when you do special moves in the open world, they do have a little bit of a cooldown, so you can't just spam them repeatedly, but they will refill. So you use them mainly to traverse and break stuff to get more items and equipment. And there is a mechanic that is exclusive to the World Tour mode, which is drive stall, which slows down time essentially, and it allows you to run away from certain enemies, because there are enemies that will chase you around, which is pretty much just a Mad Gear gang, and they'll try to beat you down and mess you up or whatever. But you can slow down time just to avoid them, slow down time to hit them first to get some damage in before you fight them, because it's kind of like dramatic battle when you fight people, so there's going to be multiple things on screen, multiple dudes and stuff like that. So you can use that to your advantage a little bit if you don't want to fight them or not. There is also like an exclusive mechanic. It's counter hit essentially. But what it is when you get into a fight with a dude or something on the street in World Tour, if you hit him with a counter hit, it does like a mega hit instead, pretty much. Like you get like pretty much even more plus frames usually. Now if you do a special move, they'd like freaking bounce off the wall or something. They do something entirely crazy that'll let you do something even more insane. So that's exclusive to World Tour. Those are the two mechanics, which is pressure time and drive stall. So pressure time is the counter hit one, and drive stall is the one where you're just in the world, you can just slow down time for a little bit. Next up, they did go over a little bit of how your mastery works, so how you run into a person. So like for instance, a legendary character would be like Chun-Li or Ryu or stuff like that, characters like that I mean, and pretty much you fight them. I think they didn't really go over the depth if you fight them or not, but you do like learn from them. You get their exact style, their moveset and everything. And if you fight like just a random opponent in the World Tour or whatever, you do get experience points for them, and that gives you levels up your mastery with your teacher. So in a sense, it's pretty much like Xenoverse 2 or just Xenoverse. If anybody's played Xenoverse, that's kind of how it works. The more you use their style, the more experience points you get, and the more you can unlock other moves like their supers, like for instance spinning bird kick for Chun-Li, Koken, stuff like that. And then you can mix match them with your character to just do whatever move you want. There is also skill points, which I'm pretty sure you get them the exact same way you get them from experience points, which is the mastery thing. You just fight people and they level up your personal character, so you can make them stronger, have more vitality, this and that, the other essentially. So there's 2 sets of level ups, I guess you could say, for your character. And then they showed that you can go around the world in multiple areas. Like they showed Italy, Metro City, which is pretty much the main area, and other places too. So that's how you learn from more people and other masters. You just have to go to certain areas, stuff like that. and they did mention that there is other characters in the world that you might not know the references to. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, even in like a stage, like you see Hugo in the background, so I'm pretty sure you can maybe go up and run up to talk to Hugo or a character like that. So make sure to try to explore a little bit, and you can find some characters that are just not like, you know, DLC or just base game, and say hi to him or whatever, you know, or fight him or something, you know. It could be some hidden stuff, like, you know, you go into a certain area and then boom, you're fighting Oro or something crazy like that, you know. So that just gives you incentivized to explore the world map, like explore it as best as you can to find hidden stuff or Easter eggs, if you will. They also introduced pretty much the Mad Gear Gang, or they keep saying a hidden organization, but it's the Mad Gear Gang essentially. And they showed a new character named Ruja. It looks kind of weird, like I don't really explain. It kind of reminds me of Dawson, but just weird. I don't really know how to explain his design too much, but maybe it'll grow on me, but I don't really know, man. I don't know. They also showed the new map, because we haven't seen anything, which is Nashal, which is pretty much India, which is where Dawson's probably going to be at, and maybe other interesting characters. So I guess we'll have to just wait and see what other characters are there. They did also mention that there is certain outfits that are in certain areas of the map in different worlds, so it is very important to check out the marketplaces and stuff like that to see what equipment that you might like, because it will look very different compared to stuff like in Metro City or whatever area they have in the game. So make sure to check it out and see what cool stuff they have for other worlds, I guess, you know. There is also foods that you can eat in places that give you buffs that I should mention too. So they'll be different in depending what area you're at too. So don't forget to eat. And lastly, the thing that they show for character creation or just World Tour mode is that you can fight people online with your character, so it's pretty cool, man. You can't fight like, you know, Ryu and stuff like that though, like online. You can that'd be a little crazy, because you can find the ultimate combination and that'd be ridiculous. But you can fight other created characters that people make online in the battle hub, so I guess look forward to that. So that's pretty sick. So if you ever just wanted to duke it out with your created character versus your friend, you can. So that is official and confirmed. And there is even clubs that you can make, which you can have over 100 members and make your own jerseys that your team can wear and stuff like that. So that is really, really cool. It's a shame it's only 100 though. I think they didn't amp it up, because bigger people like, you know, YouTubers or whatever they're gonna have a huge group. So they definitely can. They're gonna need a little bit more than that. And then after that, it's pretty much regular, you know, online or Street Fighter offline stuff that's not World Tour. So now they've added a few things. I think this thing's interesting. I don't know how it's going to help people too much, because I'm not really thinking the bigger picture at the moment, but they did add a mode that's more accessible to people that need this. It's like this is a thing that you can do. I'm not sure if you can do it online, but it pretty much helps you know the distance between you and your opponent. And like it makes different sounds if you're closer or farther away, or if you hit them with a high or a low, it'll make different sounds when they're jumping, specials, to give you a good idea of what is what. So I guess that's just to help out newer players or people that have trouble understanding the system. So it's pretty cool. Like, it's nothing super crazy, but it's pretty cool. They also added a dynamic mode, which allows you to do auto combos pretty much, but it's not like modders, like the AI helps you. So I guess if you press a button, it'll like give you a combo depending on the distance of your opponent, or a different button. So that's something for beginners to help them out as well. But I think you can only use that on offline, so just to let y'all know. Then they showed a cool thing that we were all waiting for, arcade mode. Yeah, and that is a thing that they've added to the game. It seems like there are 5 stages by default, but you can make them more and make them less. And there is art that is done for each character, so they'll have a thing. Like, they did show for Jamie, Yang, and Yun, because, you know, that's pretty much what he's inspired by. So stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then in the arcade mode, you know, they have the bonus stages where you can beat up a car and stuff like that. They actually have a truck now you can beat up, so that's really cool. They also added a character guide to help people figure out what character they want. So if you go to their character profile, it'll help you train with them, essentially learn their moves. And then if you get the move right, they'll say, hey, good job, man. Stuff like that to encourage the player, who's a beginner most likely, to, you know, learn the character. It's like, hey, I'm doing this correctly. So they've added multiple ways pretty much to teach a new player how to play a fighting game in any system, like in World Tour or with the character guide. So I really much like this. So there's going to be a lot of people playing fighting games now because of this. They also added combo trials back now. There's like beginner variations, medium and intermediate variations, and advanced. So just to test your skills so you can do them. So I think that's really neat too. So I wonder if it's like Street Fighter 4 difficulty, which is really, really hard. And they also did bring back team battle now, so you can do it either like, 3 people against 3 people, and I believe you can do this online, I think. And you can do one person goes up against another person, they knock them out to the next person, they keep the health, kind of like King of Fighters essentially. Or you could do like 2 rounds instead versus that person, and then it'll switch. I think that's a setting that they showed, so there's a lot of ways to customize how you want to do team battles, so which is cool. So you can do 2v2s, 1-2 technically. So, and then after that, they talked about the extreme battle mode, which is pretty much test your luck, with the bull that they showed before, and the Mega Man robot dude, the electric one. They're just going over that a little bit, and how there is more mechanics, like, hey, you have to do these certain conditions to win, like you have to do a jump attack 3 times, or this, that, and the other. Whoever fulfills it wins. So that's cool if you want to play it with your friends, because it is online as well, so that is really cool. And then they have the great news of adding custom rooms, so there's no Hubba Hotel stuff or anything like that. We're good. There's no freaking Monopoly World or whatever. There, you can create a room, and you can either do extreme battle, regular battle, or training. So there's training now from like even the MK series essentially. So now you can train online with your friends and help them get better, you get better, or whatever, vice versa. So that is amazing news. We've been waiting for that for a long period of time, and I'm glad games are starting to do that. I hope Tekken 8 does this, honestly, because this is amazing. And then they talk a little bit about rank and how it works. I think there's only mastery at the moment right now. I'll have like the thing up for all the stuff, but essentially, if you do make it to another rank, there is a new feature that they added. So if you got, like, say for instance, you just ranked up and then you lose a round, you go down immediately. I know, because I've experienced that in Street Fighter and other games. It sucks. They have added a mechanic though that if you do lose a round in rank or whatever, a match, you don't get demoted immediately. It'll put you at the bottom, but you won't de-rank. Like, you'll have like 9-0-0-0-0, essentially what I'm saying. So it gives you like 1 free escape from losing your rank. So there's a little bit less stress. So I think that's a really cool thing. I think it's 1 time for each rank, I believe. So that's fine. I think that's good, so people won't, be worried or disconnected in the match. But yeah, I think it's neat. I like the change. And there is also character-specific ranks. So if you go up with Ryu, will rank, say for instance you make it to gold, Ryu will stay gold, everybody else will be in the beginner part, which will be rookie or bronze or whatever. So I think that it's a very smart change, so people, if they wanted to use a different character in rank but did not want to get demoted, because that's kind of why I don't really use anybody in rank too much, just 1 character or at least 2. It's because you're afraid to get demoted, but you want to fight stronger people. So they now added that system like they did in Tekken. So that is a very, very smart idea in my opinion. So good on them for adding that. They're pretty much having everything that's good about any other fighting game and putting it in this game, which is great news. Now, lastly, the thing that they showed, which is everybody's like, oh, is the season pass, or the first set of DLC characters, which is Aki, Rashid, Ed, and Akuma. So looking forward to it. We already have their dates of when they will be coming out. Like, for instance, Rashid is coming out in summer of 2023. Aki, or AKI, will be coming out in autumn 2023. Ed will be coming out in winter 2024. And Akuma will be coming out in spring of 2024. So that's our release date. We know what the characters look like, but if you already saw the leak list, you know what they look like. And they look pretty cool still, obviously. I like the art that they have of them, because we haven't seen this before. Rashid has a great design. I think AKI, I like her design, because I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure this is going to be like Fang's daughter or something, or student, or adopted daughter, something like that. I really like Ed's like just hoodie jacket vibe. I'm messing with it a lot because I'm an Ed main, so I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Same because I'm Winter, but it makes sense. So I hope they give him some cool dank stuff. Akuma looks crazy. He looks really, really cool. It looks like he's at his peak, or is at his peak of being what he wants to do, which is conquering the Sasuke no Hado. So I'm wondering if he's gonna have some freaking Oni stuff or Shin Akuma stuff. So, because he has the white hair, so I'm like, oh, that's like Shin Akuma and Oni. So he might be in his final stage of his evolution. So I'm really curious how they're gonna do that with that character. And they did confirm that we will see certain characters in the World Tour. So I'm pretty sure these 4 characters will be in World Tour. You just have to find them. So you can probably see what they look like in game or what they do. So be on the lookout for that. And after that announcement, the showcase was pretty much over, and then they showed like, hey, you can play the Street Fighter demo right now. Immediately after the showcase is over, you can play the Street Fighter demo, and that's what I was kind of doing a little bit. That's why I haven't really been making videos. I've been playing the demo and making other stuff, but yeah, which is cool. You can create your character and play a little bit of the World Tour, not too much, and then you have to reset it and go back to the main menu and do it again. And then for Battle Hub, you can use Ryu and Luke, and that is it, and you just fight each other. Now, there isn't a training mode, but if you go to character guides and go to either Ryu's or Luke's ultimate, which would be Shin Shoryuken or Pale Rider, then you can just, I believe, if depending on console, for places you press the touchpad when it gives you the demonstration, and you just you have full access to your meter and it recharges and everything. So there's technically training in the demo if you want to do that. You just have to do certain things. But yeah, that's pretty much all the Street Fighter 6 news, because at this point the game is about to come out in 1 month, and all I gotta do is chill back and relax and wait for the game to come out at this point. Now, there's no real other news for any other fighting game for April, because it kind of just had some technically big news in the beginning of April, but I already covered that, like I said before, in another video, so that's kind of it. There is, I guess, a little bit of information from the SNK side, is that they did have a open beta test for cross-platform that would happen in April 27th through April 30th, but that's already over. So I didn't play it because I was doing other stuff, but hopefully it did good. So they got some input from what they need to get ready for the not open beta, but the update for crossplay essentially. So I'm looking forward to that. But that is pretty much it. Now, if I did miss anything, let me know down in the comment section below, and so people can just see if I missed anything. So all the news from fighting game stuff will be down in the comment section below if like I said, I missed anything, because I didn't really see anything else, I guess you could say, for any other fighting game news, like for Skullgirls or anything like that. So I guess this month's kind of a little dry. It had a good start, but then that was Evil Japan. Now there should be nothing for a little bit until Street Fighter, essentially, unless we get MK this month, which is May. So kind of hoping for that, or it could be in June, because Street Fighter will then come out, but we'll have to wait and see. But that's all I got, and I hope you guys have a great day or night or whatever time period you guys live at, man, and I will see you guys next time.